All right, hope everybody had a good month. Hope everyone's doing well. And those of you in the Northeast, sounds like winter's already coming your way, so time to head on down here. Let's go ahead and get into things. First things first, year over year, 224 sales to 256 sales. A little bit of a surprise. Sales year over year then up 14.3%. Quite honestly, I didn't really expect that number to be up year over year, but it's all relative. If you look back, 224 was a pretty low number, so let's not get too excited about it, but interesting nonetheless. But also point out that listings, there was 2,124, there's now 2,276, so it's up 7%. So just a little bit to note. Look, I think it's interesting. I'm really hopeful that the market's going to pick up. I am getting a little bit nervous that I feel like we're kind of cruising into the season without a whole lot of activity. At the end of this, a couple of you guys sent me questions on price point. So at the end of this, we'll get into a little bit of detail of what brackets things are selling in and highlight a couple of things. A lot of you, if you've been watching, you probably already know the answer to this. But anyways, let's roll right on here. Average price per square foot, $306 up to $319, up 4.2%. As always, those of you that have been with me for a while, you know I don't put a ton of stock in that number just because it can be so easily swayed. One really high dollar sale can really kind of screw the number all up. So anyways, decent yardstick. Again and again I've said, what I really feel like that's coming from is the bottom of the market pushing up, not so much the top of the market pushing higher. So still all the activity I still see lower end of the market, and it's really driving a lot of the market. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's skip over to median home sales from 328 to 334. So we're up 1.8%. Again, a positive, but if you look here, right, we've been pretty range bound the whole year, right? You know, you kind of look across the entire year with the one outlier, which was the 453 number, but those of you that have been following know that number wasn't really a real number. It was just a bunch of pre-construction sales all loaded into the MLS at the same time that resulted in that. So let's move right along. Average days on market. Sale price to original list price. Look, this is important if you're thinking about listing your home, right? You want to know how many days it's going to take to sell relative to the market. So we've gone from 100 days down to 85, so it's down 15%. I will say, I think that's a little bit deceiving. Again, the lower price properties are selling really quickly, and I think that's kind of dragged this number down a bit. Certain price points, you're just stuck. You're not going to see 85 days unless you get really aggressive on your price, but we'll get to that in a minute. Nevertheless, something interesting is always to look at. And then you look at the deduction. It was things were selling at 89% of asking price, now selling at 91% of asking price. That was the original listing price. So again, just something to notice, there still is a discount in the market. Again, it's going to be more on the higher end. On the lower end, it's not a whole lot of discounts going on. Things are moving pretty quickly. Last slide, always my favorite, months of inventory. Year over year from 9.5 down to 8.9. So hey, down 6.3%. You would like to be encouraged by it, but you know, we were hoping we were going to stay around 6 months, get some sellers a little bit of relief. Doesn't look like that's happening. Looks like things continue to pour on the market. I will say, I think one change that's coming is I think things are being priced a little more to market now. I'm not seeing a whole lot of stuff that's just junk that's thrown up there and wildly priced. So I do think sellers' expectations may be getting a bit better. So just something to note if you're a buyer or a seller. For the questions that I was asked, mainly what I got were emails on what brackets are selling. Can I go look at? I can email you back individually, but to do it here on the video, it would take me a mountain of time to go through each price bracket. I'm going to pick out a couple of highlights for you. The first is that I've been telling you guys, below 350,000, that's really where things are selling, right? So 256 sales for the month. Of those 256, 139 were below the 350 price. That was split almost straight down the middle between condo, townhome, and single family. So it was about a 50-50 mix between those two property types. So really something to take note of there. A soft spot in the market. If you skip over to 700,000 to $1 million in condos, of those 256 sales, only 6 of those sales were condos that sold between 700,000 and $1 million. So kind of a slow spot in the market right now. That being said, I have one great listing right now in that price bracket and another one coming up. So if you're looking, I got a couple of nice properties for you. Hey, that's what I got for you guys this month. I hope all is well. As always, any questions, feel free to email me. Those of you thinking about coming down for the year, get on down. Weather's just turning beautiful down here. We'll talk to you guys soon. See you next month.